In this video, we will be going over the important aspects of knives and how we use them at Woodinville Day Camp. Before we get into the main knife safety section of this video, you need to know the basic parts of the knife. As you can see, there are two main parts to a knife: the handle, in which you use to grip and hold on to the knife, and the blade, which you use to cut wood or sharpen. In this clip is a demonstration of how to properly open up a knife. In this clip is a proper demonstration of how to close a knife. When both opening and closing a knife, you should keep a firm grip on the handle and make sure that your fingers are far away from the blade. When taking the cover off a fixed blade knife, you should make sure to keep a firm grip on the case and slowly move the knife back and forth until it slips out of the case. Be sure that the blade is facing away from your body. When replacing the knife back into the case again, keep the blade away from you. Start by ensuring that the case is aligned to the shape of the knife, then put the tip of the knife in the case. Level out the case so that the knife is easily slipped into the cover, keeping the blade away from your fingertips. The most important aspect of knives is, of course, knowing the proper way of holding them. As you can see, the picture on the left is a proper way when holding it. You want the blade facing away from you, and you're holding it by the handle. Unlike the picture on the right, whereas the blade is facing towards you, which can be very dangerous and is extremely unsafe. Another important aspect of knives is teaching the campers how to properly pass a knife. This is a really tricky lesson, and some campers are extremely nervous. Oftentimes, we will provide one-on-one support to campers the very first time they pass a knife. The goal of knife passing is to hand your partner the handle of the knife. It can be a little tricky and make a few times to get it right. You want to make sure that the blade is facing up in the air, placing it firmly in your palm with the handle towards your partner and the blade on your wrist. When your partner receives the knife, be sure to get the verbal acknowledgement from them before letting go. They should have a secure grip on the handle and say "thank you." By verbally acknowledging the handoff, you know that you can slowly let go and back away. Remember, blade up, go slow, and talk to each other. As you can see, the picture on the left is the proper way to hold a hatchet. You should carefully grip the head of the hatchet, making sure to wrap your fingers around it with the blade facing back. Remember to always walk and don't run when transporting the hatchet. The middle picture is how you pass the hatchet to someone else. It is similar to how we pass a knife. You hold onto the head of the hatchet with the blade facing down and the handle facing the other person. Make sure to be verbal, just like passing a knife. And finally, the picture on the right is how you properly store a hatchet. You should either find a log or rock big enough to fit the entire blade of the hatchet under. This helps prevent injuries from anyone who might not see where they are walking. Safety is very important at Woodinville Day Camp, including teaching the campers about a safety circle, also known as a blood circle. A safety circle teaches the camper about spatial awarenesses. You spread your arms out far apart and spin around to make sure that you have enough room around you so that you or others around you don't get hurt. At Woodinville Day Camp, we teach a knife progression in which the curriculum builds up by age. We will take a closer look at these progressions next. The first curriculum I will go over is the Pixies. Since the Pixies are the youngest group at camp, they get to use paper knives in which they get to cut out and assemble using a brad fastener. Once assembled, they practice learning the parts of the knife and opening and closing them. Next, the kindergartners and first graders get to learn both about a safety circle and know more about knife safety. In addition, they learn how to practice and how to pass kitchen knives like the one you see. After they learn how to hold and pass a knife, they use plastic knives to create bar soap shavings. The second graders review and learn the safety circle and how to handle, close, and pass kitchen knives, as well as a jackknife. As you can see, the image on the left is a jackknife, and the image on the right is a kitchen plastic knife. After the campers have reviewed the curriculum, they also practice using a knife by creating bar soap shavings. The third graders get to add on to their previous knowledge, including learning how to open, handle, close, and pass a jackknife. Once they review how to handle the knife, they practice using it by making wood shavings to use as tinder for a fire. The fourth grade campers reviewed previous knowledge of how to handle a knife, and they are also introduced to a fixed blade knife. They practice removing a knife from its cover, passing the knife to a partner, then returning the knife to its cover. We often have one-on-one assistance with this grade level to make sure that the campers are handling the knife properly. Once they are comfortable with handling the knife, they practice using it by making wood shavings to use as tinder for a fire. The image you see is of a fixed blade knife, similar to what a 4th grader at day camp might use. The 5th graders brush up on knife handling skills, and they learn how to sharpen a jackknife and a fixed blade knife. After they sharpen their knives, they put them to use by making wood shavings to use as tinder for a fire. Once they have created the tinder, they also get to learn what a bow saw is and what it's used for. The 6th grade campers revisit knife handling and safety. They are introduced to the hatchet. They learn how to use, sharpen, pass, carry, and store a hatchet, which are all very useful skills and are perfect for their age range. As for the boys' unit at camp, they come to this station with all grade levels at once. They learn the same curriculum as girls their own age. For example, the smaller younger boys start out with paper and plastic knives, and then they move up to the jackknife and fixed blade knives. In addition, the 6th grade boys also learn how to use a hatchet. As we close down this training video, let's review a few safety tips when handling knives. Keep knives sharp. A sharp knife is a safe knife. Always cut away from yourself. Use the right knife for the right job, so don't use a hatchet to make tinder. Use a stable surface for cutting. Never grab a falling knife. Remember your safety circle. Keep your eye on the blade. Store your knife correctly. Keep your hair pulled back out of your face. That's it for this training video. Make sure to apply all of these aspects of knife skills not only at Woodinville Day Camp, but any other time when using a knife. Stay safe, and see you at camp!